Our next guest says her TeaParty group has been targeted by the IRS. Joining us now, we've got Scottie Hughes from the TeaParty News Network, whose parent company, TeaParty.net, has tried to get tax-exempt status and run into problems. How long has that struggle gone on, and what's the status right now? And thanks for joining us, Scottie.
Oh, thank you, Dennis. This process has been going on since basically 2010. So we're looking at a little more than 3 years that we've been going through it. And yes, the TeaParty.net has yet to be granted 501c4 status. But I think it's real interesting that the president sat there and said the word independent, that the IRS is independent of the White House, kind of washing his hands of any trouble that this might be that might go to him. Well, in reality, we know the IRS answers to the Department of Treasury, and that is a department that is headed by Tim tax cheat Geithner that he appointed. So it's not so independent as he kept saying in that press conference.
Yeah, how many hoops has your group had to jump through to try to get IRS approval? You were asked to provide a list of all donors, even though they're not supposed to do that?
Yes, we've gone through 3 rounds, the TeaParty.net has gone through 3 rounds of questions. First round, we want 501c4s to be legitimate 501c4s. But the second round, where they asked for the donors and their contact information, as well as a lot of the events that they've done in the past, and more importantly, the who, what, where, when, and how details and guest list details of any future events, was the first red flag. And then just recently, within the past year, we were asked to provide every marketing email, as well as a social, Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube post that we had done since the very beginning. 3.5 years of emails, Dennis, you know that. You wouldn't want to use, that would take a couple trees probably to print down themselves.
Indeed, out of 300 groups the IRS has targeted and singled out that were requesting tax-exempt status, 1/4 of them that it singled out was because of the TeaParty or Patriot missions. They're even going after Glenn Beck's group as well. But then the IRS official in charge of this department that clears these requests says, nothing politically motivated here. How believable do you think that is?
Well, let me just point this out. This is not a right or left issue. This is about people's rights and states' rights and legal citizens' rights. And that's why every American needs to stay informed and be very scared of this issue. This is why the Tea Party was formed, because we cannot trust our government. And this is a perfect example of why. I don't care why was it that just these words were targeted? Why weren't they why wasn't heterosexual or homosexual or the words progressive targeted? No, the 3 words they picked, Tea Party and Patriot. 3 conservative-sounding words for sure.
Yeah, and then went on to still more. Even people who are upset with big government, you don't even have to be Republican to be upset with big government. Do you think this goes up higher? Isn't it entirely plausible that the White House had no idea and that people were just doing what they thought the White House would like without the White House knowing?
Well, I guess it's just totally plausible that the White House didn't know about Benghazi, Fast and Furious, or Solyndra either. It's amazing how the White House continues to stay completely clean of every scandal that hits them. That being said, if this was just a bunch of minions in Cincinnati that started this, then I would say there's some real issues that we have with the central office in Washington, D.C., the IRS office, because if they're letting little people around the country make comments and make decisions like this, it obviously shows the inefficiency of our taxpayer dollars at use.
All right. Thanks very much for being with us today, Scottie Hughes, and maybe you'll make some progress in getting that clearance for a tax-exempt status.
Thank you very much.